out. It's time to talk about some movies.
Some feature films.
Featured motion pictures.
Some sequels.
Some sequels, yes. Some films you have read before.
Yes, I have.
Yes, you have. So yeah, this is what we're going to talk about this week. Here on the Seasonal Anime Checkup OVA. It's a podcast where we have conversations about video games, anime, and manga. Hello, I'm Jared, joined as always by Doc Al and Aladium.
Hello.
This is episode number 452, and we're going to talk about two movies.
Yes.
2 and 2.
2 and 2 in the I guess how do you even Rascal does not universe?
I think it's Rascal Does Not Dream.
Does not dream?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Universe.
So, yes. So yeah, these two films recently went up on the Crunch. They've been out for a little bit now.
Yeah.
They came out in Japan in 2023, so they had been out and about for a bit. These are both sequels to the Bunny Girl Senpai series, which was the television anime that came out first back in 2019, I want to say. 2018, actually.
Wow.
3 bajillion years ago. We talked about this series at some point. Let me take a look here at when we did that. Because I'm pretty sure we did.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, episode 278. This was back in April of 2022 when we watched it. Because they, like I said, this came out in 2018. I had known about it for a while. I'd heard people say good things about it, but like obviously it was one of those things where you look at the title of it and you're just a little
We're like, ugh.
mm,
Both of us were a little like, no, that sounds nope. And then you're like, wait a minute, it's actually good. And we're like,
yeah.
oh, no way. And then we watched it. We're like, oh, no, wait a minute, this is actually good.
Yeah, so we talked about that series, and then the first movie, Rascal Does Not Dream of a Dreaming Girl, I believe back in that first episode we did. And then these two movies are sequels to both that television anime and this movie. Or in that movie, I should say. So yeah, we got two movies to talk about, and then, you know, these all lead into the current airing anime that's running.
Mm-hmm.
Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus.
Right.
Which is currently ongoing. We'll probably talk about that at some point later on down the line. Well, yeah. First up, we have the first movie that came out, Rascal Does Not Dream of a Sister Venturing Out, which came out on June the 23rd of 2023. And then I believe came out in the U.S. on March 24th, 2024, where they released both movies together. And then dubbed them and everything, and then did a dub for the original series and all that sort of stuff as well. So if you want to watch it dubbed in the original series and all that, and the current series, that's all there for you.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's talk about this here first movie, which I think we both kind of agree is the lesser of the two movies that we watched.
It is the weaker of the two, yes.
Yes. A lot of this is dealing with Sakata's sister Kaede,
Mm-hmm.
who in the original series had like a whole deal where she had like amnesia and like had a different personality, and then eventually her original personality came back, and it was a whole ordeal and everything. And now we are kind of dealing with the aftermath of that, and also where does this kid want to go to high school?
Mm-hmm. It's time for her to figure that out.
Mm-hmm. And she obviously has not been going to school because there was a whole bullying situation.
Mm-hmm.
So she's been like staying at home and everything. And now she has to figure out, okay, what do I do when it comes to high school? Like I have to go back out into the world and figure all this out. And, you know, she had been having problems with that throughout like the original series and everything. So, you know, how do I come to terms with that and like, you know, figure out exactly what I want to do and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of stuff as well where she's trying to kind of be like this ideal version of herself that's like combining the version that she is now, and also the version that she was when she had like amnesia and everything, and the different personality of herself, because that's what she thinks like Sakura and everyone else wants.
Yeah, she thinks that that's the version of her that they like.
Yeah. Yeah, you want some propaganda about online schools? This is the movie for you.
Yay!
Cause yeah, she eventually she first is like, I want to go to the same school that Sakura goes to, and like her advisor shows up at like their apartment and is like, I don't think that's necessarily the best idea given your grades and everything and all that. But if you want to try it, we can go for it. So like they like everyone just starts going around and like tutoring her, trying to like get her prepped for like these
the entrance exams.
entrance exams. Yeah, I was like high school exams. Like that's not exactly right. Entrance exams, and like she's got to get caught up and everything, get acclimated to the exams and everything. Then also she's got to go and do the exams as well.
And turn in the paperwork by herself.
Yeah, which she struggles with doing, and like Sakura has to like get out of like his class because he says he's got to poop.
It's a number 2 and it's emergency.
He just says it so nonchalantly.
Yep.
He's like, yep, I gotta go poop. And then like finds her kind of like just like walking outside, just like not like hesitating to go in, and then eventually like sees her go in and turn in the paperwork and like talks to her about it and all that. In the meantime as well, he's like been meeting up with like her advisor to kind of like see if like this is the right thing to do, and like the advisor's like,
he gets to see propaganda.
He gets to see all this propaganda. Yeah, like the advisor's like, hey, have you thought about like online schools and everything? Like, they don't necessarily have the same kind of reputation that you might think they do currently. So like, what if we go to this like, I guess like a seminar essentially?
Yeah, it's like an info session.
Yeah, like a presentation about like, hey, this is this online school we're doing. Here's exactly what we do. Here's why the curriculum and everything works and all that. Like, here's some testimonials from students and everything to show you why they think it works and all that. So like, here's all that. So yeah, he goes and sees that and everything and kind of like looks at it as like, maybe this would help her and all that. Which also brings us to like, there's like one of the things like I think both of us really like about this series is the relationship Sakura and Mai have with each other, where like a lot of this series, especially for like like a romance type drama type series, doesn't rely on the idea of like manufacturing drama for the sake of drama. A lot of the drama comes from the fact that they are able to like tap into like weird supernatural and psychological stuff.
Right.
But they don't necessarily be like, oh, we gotta make up some drama and have some relationship fights and all this sort of stuff just because we need the drama, and all like a lot of other types of series do in this genre per se.
No, they're like pretty well grounded and trust each other and get along and all that.
They communicate with each other.
Communicate what? No way.
Which brings us to like, there's a good scene in this film, especially where like they're talking in his room and she's like, okay, you came into solace when we were like studying in the family restaurant that he works at, and you were like, oh, I gotta work after like this specific day. The Bennies, yes, of course. And she was like, why did you lie to me about that? And he was like, okay, you're right, I did, but also my sister was there, so I didn't want to have like tell her exactly what I was doing. Also, I didn't want to implicate you in what I was doing and have you implicated in the lie and have you lie for me and all this sort of stuff. And she's like, oh, okay, I guess that makes sense, yeah. It was just like, wow, they did not make this a huge deal or anything. They didn't have like a huge like thing about it. It was just like, hey, we're just going to talk about this. I'm going to communicate exactly what I did, why I did it, and water under the bridge. Everything's fine afterwards. Yeah. It's just like so refreshing to watch something where just like people talk to each other, especially considering, these are high school kids, where like, you don't necessarily feel or like see that kind of relative maturity level and like these types of characters, or like people of that age specifically,
right?
But just seeing characters just talk to each other and not like have to hide behind a veneer of like, oh, I gotta lie because of blah blah blah, my pride or something, or just something stupid like that. It's just like, no, we're just gonna talk this out, explain what happened, and then everything's fine. It's just
Yeah,
it's nice.
it is very nice.
I love to see it.
I also love to see it. I'm kind of tired of like romance drama things of like, it is pretty nice to be like, hey, they can have a conversation.
And gosh,
It,
sorry, a little something in my throat
a little
there.
something in your throat there. I have to agree with you on that one actually. But it's nice. They support each other.
Yeah, 100%. It's great. Um, I do think it's also kind of funny that there are moments in this film and also the second film where for some reason Sakura is just in his underwear and that's it.
Right.
And he's like, yep, just boxers and that's it.
Yep.
It's so funny.
Just doing so. Did they introduce the mark on him in this one, or is it
It's
introduced?
in the second one. I think in this one he
Okay.
doesn't have anything.
Okay. I couldn't remember, but it's shown off in one of the boxer scenes.
Yeah, it's in the second film.
Okay. I couldn't
Um,
remember if it was
but yeah,
introduced in this one then
I just
actually
found it funny that
addressed.
like they had it in this one, and then immediately in the second film they have another one where he's just by himself and doing it. It's like, what are you doing? Um, but yeah, like eventually they're trying to figure out if she wants to go to the actual school or not. She goes and does the actual entrance exam where she's like, she gets through like half of it and she's doing fine, but then like she runs and like walks by like a former classmate and like that just kind of like
It's triggering.
that's the end for her. So she just she heads to the nurse's office and is just like, no, I can't do it. She's also getting like bruises and stuff, and which is part of the whole syndrome stuff.
Hmm.
And like the school calls Sakura is like, hey, she's holed up in the nurse's office. You want to come talk to her? He like rushes over there and like they have like a chit chat, and she kind of is like, "Nah, I think you want the other Kaede back, not me." And he's just like, "Oh, I, ooh, I should probably address this soon."
Yeah, because she's been reading like the book of the other version of her.
Mm-hmm. That's the reason why she wanted to go to like his high school, because like that was the dream of the other Kaedes.
Hmm.
Um, So they head home after that. Like he gets all her stuff and they go home, and then he's like, "Hey, I went and saw this online school. You want to take a look at it?" And she's kind of just like a little hesitant because like the the idea of online schooling and like that sort of stuff is like there's a bit of a stigma, I would say, attached to it in some cases where it's like, it's not real school or whatever. Like, you're not going to be able to socialize with other people and everything. So, like, is it necessarily the right thing to do in this sort of circumstance and everything?
Hmm.
But he's able to, like, call up one of his friends. I think
He
it's, like,
calls
my sister.
Nautica.
Yeah. He's like, hey, can you help me out here? And they go see this idol group, Sweet Bullet.
That's the one that Nautica's in.
Yeah, and then like they're just watching the performance and everything, and like the center girl is just like, being a little ditzy and everything, and he's like, he talks to Kaede. He's like, hey, by the way, did you know she's attending that online school that I told you about? And she's like, wait, what? Huh? He's
She
like,
was
yeah,
in the propaganda.
yeah, she was in the testimonial and said like, oh, it's great and everything. Like I can, do my classes whenever. I get to, socialize with people, and like she said it was pretty good. And Kaede's like, and then like after the show, like they're able to like meet this girl and everything, and like chit chat about like what the school is like and everything. Like she answers all the questions for her, and like talks about like why she decided to go to the online school instead of going to this regular school. She's like, yeah, no, it worked better for me in terms of what I'm doing. So like, it's good for me, but like, if you wanted to go to a regular school, that's also cool. Like they both have their positives, they both have their negatives. So, you just got to figure out what's right for you. And then like Coyote kind of does more of a deep dive into it and like looks through like the brochure, watches some videos about it, talks to her friend about it, and then basically comes to a decision and being like, yeah, I think this online school is gonna be the thing for me. And then also there's like a scene where, like near the end as well, where like they get a call from Sakata's school being like, hey, we know she didn't really finish the entrance exam, but like, you know, her scores were good for like the stuff she did, and like we don't have enough people, so like, do you think she wants to come? He's like, hey, do you want to go to the school? And she's like, nah, I'm
Nah.
going to the online school. And he's like, all right, cool.
It is
Um,
funny, they're like, there was a quota that we didn't meet because there was some like online propaganda that it was going to be really hard to get in this year.
right.
And so a lot of people didn't take the test. I was like, what?
It's a very weird
Does that happen?
roundabout. I mean, I guess it could be. I guess there would be like, you know, kids talking about whether or not an entrance exam is going to be too difficult or whatnot. And there's also, I think, some scenes as well where like Sakata and Kaede like come to terms with like, you know, who she is, like who she actually is and everything, and like Sakata like being like, you know, I miss this other version of Kaede, but like, you know, you are also you, so like I want you around, not necessarily this other version of you that's not around. And like they're able to kind of put that difference aside and strengthen their relationship and everything, which is nice to see.
Hmm.
But yeah, this film was, I wouldn't say it was bad or anything. It was just like the lesser of the two.
It just is.
It was fine. It definitely was just not as much of like getting into weird stuff like the series and that our next film was going to get into for sure.
Right. I feel like this just could have been an episode.
Sure. Yeah. 100%. After that was Rascal Does Not Dream of a Knapsack Kid, which also came out in 2023, December 1st, 2023 to be exact. Oh, also I had some notes here about the reception of this film.
Oh, give me the notes. Give me the
The
notes.
first film, or I guess this is the second film technically. Rascal Does Not Dream of a Sister Venturing Out debuted at 4th in the Japanese box office and earned 175 million yen on its opening weekend. It was also the first among Japanese movies there. And then the second film also debuted at 4th and earned over 160 million yen on its opening weekend. So there you go. So yeah, the second film, we had like a little bit of a teaser for this at the end of the previous film where Sakata sees like a younger version of Mai on the beach and is like, huh? What? And then basically we start this one off and he sees the same thing. He's kind of like, huh? What? This one obviously focuses in a lot more on like his and my relationship, but also more on his overall family relationship and like, you know, how he's dealing with all of that, especially with like, you know, his mom's been in the hospital for some time now, but now she's going to be getting out and she wants to see Kaede and wants to have that meeting and everything. And like, you know, he talks with his dad about it and is like, is this the thing that Kaede would be interested in? And she's like, yeah, I would see her. And then we're gonna have this meeting and everything, but like Sakata's also kind of just like a little distant about it, I would say.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't show really much emotion about it.
Right. He's obviously conflicted.
Yeah. This is he gets a little scar on his tum tum.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, well, that's weird.
Himself. I think that's a good way to put it. He
Yeah.
like distances himself from the situation.
Yeah.
He does get the scar on his tum tum though.
He gets a little scar on his tum tum. Mai brings him a marriage certificate she got from like a show she was on.
She's like, "Hey, look at this. It was a joke from our friend, right? It's a joke, right?
Here's a good luck charm for you." And he's like, "I'm gonna write your name down. I'm gonna write my name down as well. You should keep it. It'll be a good luck charm for you." She's like, "Okay." But yeah, he's also kind of just weirded out by like the whole why did I see a younger version of Mai? That was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what to think about that. Also got this cool new scar. Weird. Don't know what to think of that. Anyways, family time. Yay!
Yay!
Kaede graduates middle school.
Good for her.
Sakura is not able to attend, but like the dad goes, and then Mai also shows up. Sakura meets like the dad afterwards, and the dad's just like continually crying. It's funny because he just like walks up, he's like, "Hey, how's that graduation?" And he just sees his dad just like tears, like red eyes. He's like, "Okay, that answers that."
Yep. Guess it was great.
All right. But yeah, he just like they just have a little talk about the graduation and everything, and then about the forthcoming meeting and everything. And then he gets home and like Mai's there as well, and he's like, "Hey, talk to Dad about the meeting. When do you want to go do it this day?" And Kaidi's like, "Yeah, let's do it." And then they head over to the parents' apartment, and it's all raining the whole day. You gotta walk in the rain.
Yuck.
And Kaidi's very nervous about it and all that. Sakura's like, "We just gotta get it over with. If we keep waiting, it's just gonna get worse. It's like a Band-Aid. You just gotta rip that thing off. You don't want to be waiting, like, pulling it very slowly. It's going to hurt more. Okay, get that off there. Get out of here." But yeah, like, they go there. The mom's kind of just, like, there until, like, Kaede, like, yells out at her. And then, they embrace and everything's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I guess everything's not fine, but, like, they have a good embrace. And, like, Kaede realizes, like, oh, Mom doesn't hate me. Yay!
Yay!
Because that was her big fear, is that like, oh, Mom's gonna hate me because I put her in the hospital. And yeah, everything's fine, but like Sakura the whole time just kind of just like there as well, not really like acknowledging that his mom's there or anything. They don't really converse or anything. He like they ask him like to stay. He's like, "Nah, I got school tomorrow. I gotta get up early, so I'm gonna head back to my place." And like his dad follows him out and is like, "Hey, thanks for coming and everything. Here's this key to the to our apartment, just, in case you need it. In case we decide we're gonna all live together as a family." Yippee.
Yippee!
And then like he goes to school the next day, and like they're handing out exams back, and he's like, "I didn't get an exam back. Hello? Can I get my exam back?" And the teacher's just ignoring him and going on with like, "This is what we did on the exam. Here's some things you should know about." And he's just like, "Wait, huh? Hello? Can anyone see me? Hello?"
Hello!
Which of course is very reminiscent to how like we introduced the series with Mai, where she had the whole thing of like no one being able to see her.
Mm-hmm.
So he's immediately kind of like, "Oh, this isn't good."
Like, well,
He goes to like other classrooms and like goes to see his friends and say like, "Hey, did they see me?" And they're just like, "Nope, don't see you." Just running around trying to see if anyone can see him or anything. And he's like, "Nope." And he's like, "Ah, great. Well then."
about that.
What do I do now? Like he even goes like to his the parents' place, and like Kaede and the mom just walk by him, so he's like, "Oh, this isn't good."
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
He does kind of realize like it's probably related to his mom, though.
Yeah, because he remembers back to the whole family dinner type deal. He's like, "Mom and I didn't look at each other. We didn't speak. So like, I guess like she just did it. We didn't acknowledge each other. So I just don't exist anymore." And he also finds like a diary of his mom's, and it's like talking about how she wants to be a mother for Kaede and everything, and like there's no mention of his name in there. They want to be a family of 3, and he's like, "Oh crap."
Yep.
Oh no.
Oh no.
But yeah,
I mean, this all makes sense though. I mean, like he did really have to like grow up and take up on a lot of responsibility like very fast. So
yeah, like he basically just kind of like he comes to all those conclusions and everything, and it's just like, yeah, I kind of had to push her back into the back of my mind because like I had to do all this other stuff. Like I didn't have really time to like think about her really. And then he's like, "Oh, the scar's like an umbilical cord."
oh wow.
He goes through like a whole day where he's just in school, but no one notices him, but he's still just doing the school things. He's like, I'm gonna stay late and study in the library. Oh no, they're shutting the lights off. I'm gonna go around the school while they shut the lights off. This is fun. I think maybe he does that later. Maybe it's later, but either way, that was just a funky scene. But either way, he goes down to the beach and sees young Mai again. She's like, "Are you lost?" And he's like, "No, are you lost?" And then a young gal just takes him by the hand and says, "We're going home." And he's like, "Huh?" Then he wakes up and he's back at his parents' place, and everyone's all hunky dory. Everyone's happy. It's weird. He's like, this seems weird. This is where we grew up originally. What's going on? Huh? He realizes like some things are similar. Like, he's got his relationship with Mai. He knows various people. He saved Kaede from bullying. There's also like a girl who is in his class that shouldn't be in his class. It's also funny. He's like going around telling people like, "Hey, what's this? What's going on? Who's this?" And everyone's like, "You asleep or something? What's wrong with you?" He's like, I don't know. He goes and talks to Futaba about it. She's like, "All right, we got parallel worlds here. You got to find a way back to your other world and do that. All right." And like he's just eating lunch there.
Nom 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 nom.
Mai calls him at one point and is like, "Hey, do you want to come over before you got to go to work?" And he's like, "I would love to, but I'm talking to Futaba. We got to go over some stuff. Sorry." And it's interesting. Like I think it's also smart and intriguing of like how he goes about this. He's like, look, if I go and see her, I'm going to be more willing to stay in this world. And that's probably a bad thing, so I probably shouldn't go see her, and I should probably find a way to get back to my world, because, like, I don't belong here, and also, I got some stuff to fix back in that other world, and, that's probably the thing I should do. So he does that. He has like a talk with the one gal, and like she runs away from him at one point. Just like, all right, whatever. And then he just he has a chit chat with like his mom, and then eventually leads himself back to the beach where the young Mai's like, "You sure you want to go back? Like it's pretty nice here." He's like, "Yeah, it's comfortable, but a little too comfortable." Like, I don't know. I got some, like, everyone fixed their stuff here on their own. That's great. I gotta fix the stuff for me, and I gotta go back. So, yeah. And then he wakes up back in his own timeline, and, like, the other version of him wrote, like, a message telling him to get a grip on his life, put a letter in Mai's mailbox, and also figure out whatever his relationship with Toko Kirishima is, which I guess we'll find out in the anime series coming up.
Yes.
Also, it was very funny how like he's like looking at this and like looking at the letter and everything. He's just very annoyed by his own writing.
Yeah, it's really good.
He's like, "Ugh, this guy's annoying. Ugh." And it's just what he would write. Ugh. It's very funny. It's just like the idea of like seeing stuff that you would do, but like outside of yourself. He's like, "Oh, I'm witnessing my own cringe."
Yeah.
Ugh.
Ooh.
So he goes and delivers the letter to Maya's mailbox, and then this is where he goes and like does like normal stuff, but like no one can see him. So it's funny because like he's just going around and like he realizes he also has to like get out of the way of people because they can't see him. He's like, "Whoa, someone's walking towards me. They won't get out of my way." So yeah, he does all the normal school things. Is what else is he gonna do? I guess walks around, watches the school take out the lights and everything. He's like, "Oh, I wish I could see mine and everything." And then there she is on the school grounds, and she runs up to him. She's like, "Hello."
She can't see him.
I got your letter. I also I have this marriage certificate, and it made me remember you. So there you go. We also get the funny scene of like them getting onto the train, and he says no one can see them. He just screams at the top of his lungs for no reason, and no one reacts. Mai's just like, This guy. But we get a really good scene with like those two where like they talk about like the problem he's having and everything, and like the stuff with his mom, and like how like all the stuff he'd realized about like how he kind of like pushed her to the back of his mind. He had to grow up essentially. He had to become independent because of everything that went down. So like he didn't, like we said earlier, he didn't have time to think about his mom or his mom's condition and anything. So like he was just full speed ahead on like life and all that. And she's kind of just like, yeah, that just happens. That's fine. Like things like this can happen from time to time. It's like, you just gotta eventually just acknowledge that she exists, everything, make that a more prominent thing, and I think you'll fix this and everything. And I think as well, this another good thing this series does, letting dudes be emotional.
Yes. Love that.
Love that. Like he like breaks out and
He
cries on
breaks
her,
down.
and she's like, comforting him and all that sort of stuff, and it's great. Like, let dudes be emotional.
Love that. Love that.
Thumbs up.
It's so wild that we get like all this good from a series that started with Bunny Girl.
Yeah. So the most questionable title.
Right? Like, what do you mean? But yeah, the crying scene was actually very, very good.
Mm-hmm. And like Mai stays over the night with him before she has to go head back to work.
But not like that.
No, they just sleep in the same bed.
Yeah, she's just taking care of him.
Yeah. He's like, and he says like he's gonna go see his mom the next day, and she's like, "Are you sure you're gonna be able to do that by yourself?" And he's like, I think this is a really good line as well. He's like, "I don't know, but not knowing means I probably should go." Which is, I think, an interesting way to put that. Is like, there's this fear and trepidation, there's this anxiety in me that like, oh, I don't know what's gonna happen, but like I gotta go do this, or else like, what's gonna change essentially. So yeah, they go their separate ways, and then he heads to their house, and then realizes like, oh, she's at the hospital for like a checkup, so he's got to go to the hospital, and then he's like, oh crap, which room is she gonna be in? Like, no one can see me, so they can't help me. And then right on cue, like Kaede walks out of like the room that their mom's in, and he's like, oh, thank God for having a little sister. Let's go. And he walks in the room, and like obviously she can't see him or anything still. And she's like writing in her journal and everything, and like he just like starts to kind of like break down again, like thanks his mom for like existing and like being there, and like all this sort of stuff. And then like eventually she notices that he's there and everything, and like they like embrace, and like Kaede comes in as well, and they also like she walks in and sees like he's crying, and she automatically sympathy cries with him.
Yep.
And then all three of them embrace and everything, and just like it's a good moment.
It is a good moment.
It's like, yay, the family can be normal again. Let's go. Also, people can see me again. Let's go.
Yay!
So everyone's
Yay!
happy. We get like a post-credit scene where Sokka is at work, and he's told that there's a young gal looking to talk to him, and it's a young version of Shoko from the first movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where she's like, yeah, we're going to Okinawa to move. Yay. I'm going to send you bikini pics. He's like, no, please wait until you're old enough for that to happen. Thank you.
Which I was trying to do the math, and I'm like, he says 3 years, and I feel like that should be more years.
Yeah.
But she's like, I'm gonna send you bikini pics to make Mai jealous. He's like, please don't. Please don't.
It was just it's funny. But the stinger here is that like she's listening to a song, and she's like, yeah, by the way, this doesn't exist in any other timeline that I'm in, and it's a song by Toko Kirishima, which I think also was a song that Kaede was listening to in the beginning of the film.
Yes.
So like he sees that and just like, huh.
Interessante.
And then like afterwards as well, they are like, oh yeah, we're doing the next anime thing, which is already out now, so like not big news, but it was then. But yeah, this movie was interesting because like, it builds up, like the first half of it is kind of just like, relatively normal, and then like the switch just turns where it's like, oh, here we go. Here's the weird stuff that this series is good for.
I love the weird stuff though.
Yeah.
I think that it makes it more than just like, all right, here's like some kind of like high school drama type thing.
Right.
Which like that has its place too. I'm not gonna like knock those. I enjoy some of them too, but like this one has some just bonkers that I'm like, I like a little bonkers in my life.
A little mind
Yeah. I mean, obviously given the fact that like how much we love stuff like the Zero Escape and I games, like
Mm-hmm.
mind is kind of a thing we like, but obviously
Yeah.
this is not to that degree. Um, but it's fun. And then, you get to see a man scream on a train.
Yeah, I think just like the supernatural psychological elements just really put these characters in different situations that like you're not going to get in a regular, drama of this nature. So
Hmm.
it just lends itself to like more intriguing storytelling in a way, and just like it's able to also do, I guess, tell like stories that you would like normally have, but also in just like a different kind of way. Like, this whole story is just about like a family reconnecting essentially, but we're
Hmm.
able to go through it in a very weird and obtuse kind of way, but also get to that same goal by the end of it, even if it's not necessarily the most, you know, normal way that you would see a drama do this sort of thing. And also just good things, like we said, like dudes being emotional,
Hmm.
good.
Communication,
Communication,
good,
good. Good, healthy relationships, good.
good.
But yeah, now we can watch the current running anime.
I have been.
I have not been, because I just watched this movie we just talked about last night, so I have not started it yet. But I can start it.
Yeah, I'll be behind because I'm watching the dub,
Yeah,
so I have to wait for dub episodes to launch every week.
but I'm excited to see where this all goes with the university arc and everything, and just seeing more of these characters. They're very fun characters, very um they're very good to watch and everything, and just like seeing the relationships grow and all that. It's been a really enjoyable time
Hmm.
going through this series.
Yeah, I really was excited to see these characters again.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's it for these two movies. Like we said earlier, we'll probably talk about the anime, or the second season of the anime,
Hmm.
when that wraps up and we have both gone through it and watched it.
Hmm.
So that'll probably be sooner rather than later. But yeah, that's going to do it for us this week. So if you'd like more from us, head on over to seasonalcheckup.com or sec.cool, where you can find past episodes of this podcast and other podcasts like Jared Now Watch. You can also find columns and reviews on the site as well. If you'd like more from Ann Ladium, go to annladium.com. She's got columns and reviews. You can follow us on Twitter and TikTok at Anime Checkup. Follow us on Blue Sky at seasonalanimeCheckup.com. You can buy our books, One Shining Moment, A Critical Analysis of Love, Life, Sunshine, Hot Tubs, and Pac-Man on Amazon.com. Is your thingy live
My thingy.
for your book?
The paperback?
Yeah.
Yeah, the paperback is out.
Yeah, go buy
You
Al's book in paperback. It is also much cheaper than the hardcover, so like it is more affordable than ever.
Yay! I'm
And
real excited about that.
and you should definitely pick it up because it is a good book.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been waiting for there to be a paperback version because it's killing me how expensive the hardcover is. And so like now it's actually more obtainable for the average human who does not have $100 to throw on a book.
Yes, so you should go check that out.
Mhm. Let me know
Uh,
how the paperback looks. I'm buying it for myself, but I still want to know how it looks.
you're just putting money into your own pocket.
No, because I don't get any money for this.
Sports on Patreon, patreon.com/SACOVA. Buy us a slice of pizza, get access to unedited versions of the podcast early. Our monthly exclusive podcast, which we'll have a new episode of that up soon. Probably near the end of the month,
Yes.
because Al's traveling. But yes, we'll have an episode of that up soon. And you can also check out the other episodes of that we've done and all the other bonus content on the Patreon as well. It's all good, fun stuff. Next week, it's time to talk about the most straightforward Cliff Notes storytelling in video games of the last decade. And also what happens when you decide to give a horse GPS, but it is a drunk horse.
The answer is art.
What's all that mean? Well, of course, we're going to be talking about Dynasty Warriors 9 next week.
Yay! I
The
finally got
first,
Jared to play a Dynasty Warriors.
the first, well, not necessarily. That's not the first time. Well, I guess a mainline one, yes.
A mainline one,
Uh,
yes.
the first and only time they decided to make the series open world.
Yeah, they should not do that again.
So yeah, look forward to us discussing horse shenanigans and why Lubu is the greatest
And
next week.
bears.
And bears, yes, of course. And fishing.
Yes.